This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by top trainer Joe Gallagher here in Bolton. Joe, it's a double fight week for yourself. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Nice to be here in Bolton, not too far away. I have to travel up and down the country, so yeah, happy. Macaulay, my kid, they're all here and looking forward to Friday night.
Obviously, it's a very big week for Macaulay. He gets a European title shot after what I'd say has been a harsh few results on the bounce for him. But here we are, his words were the stars have aligned. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, listen, fighters when they get into it, like I say, Macaulay, he got the draw in Paris that time that people thought he won. Then obviously when he fought Tyler Denny, some people thought won there and thought we'd get a rematch. Tyler's gone to become European middleweight champion and Macaulay's got an opportunity now at super welterweight, so possibly third time lucky, but you don't buy into that. We're fighting a very accomplished amateur, a very good professional team around him, and Macaulay's got to go in there and do the best that he can do and see what happens at the end of the fight.
And you've also got a somewhat short notice opportunity, but Jack Massey will be taking on Isaac Chamberlain for the vacant cruiserweight European title. How's preparation gone for Jack with not as much notice as what I'm sure most people would have liked?
Yeah, no, listen, obviously Jack Massey would have liked the 10 weeks like Lawrence just had for his massive fight, but it's is what it is. I think he got 4 weeks notice, so that's it. It's a shame really that they couldn't have rescheduled this and put this somewhere else. Obviously Chamberlain was already in training for a big fight on the bill, and the cynic of me and most people think that they're looking to scalp Jack, but Jack was in the gym, was sparring Lawrence, sparring Babic and that, and now we've kicked on for the 4 weeks and we're ready to go. He's in good shape. He's done his checkways and he's gone down to London today, and he'll be ready Saturday night. And it's quite funny, we were talking to the other day, it was 30 years ago that Carl Thompson won the European title from Champs Camp, and he went over to Italy as the underdog and ripped the title away, and then he defended it on the 17th of June in Paris. So I said that was Phil Martin's last ever belt that he won. And he passed away 30 years ago, so 30 years later here's Jack going into the opponent's back garden, and hopefully we've got to rip that European title away.
And then looking at Lawrence Okolie as well, he's coming off a great win out in Poland. What has it been like working with Lawrence?
Yeah, great. Lawrence I was surprised in the interview in the ring afterwards. I was saying how he hated me this and hated me that. I think it was more to do that he hated everything that I put him through, but there were things that he needed to do in the gym and it showed in the fight. I was really happy that he got the win. I was annoyed that it took him so long to get certain shots off, but then I was also annoyed that people didn't get to see so much more of him, what he's capable of and what we've learned. But the opportunities will happen before the end year where we have that platform and the rounds to do that. But he's very coachable. That's why I took him on. And like I say, we're in a result-based business, and on that result, like I say, first round knockout, 3 knockdowns, and he's a world champion, WBC.
And then just to get your thoughts on some other big things that we've had in boxing recently, we've recently coming off the back of the Queensbury versus Matchroom 5v5, in which we saw a very, very dominant display in both heavyweight fights. We'll start off with Daniel Dubois versus Filip Hrgović. What did you make of his performance in the ring that night?
Brilliant. I think his best performance tonight, Daniel Dubois. I was impressed with him when he fought Miller, and the way that the camp and the team were ahead for that Miller, and now they've obviously added Kieran Farrell to it as well. He brings a lot of youth and a lot of energy, and obviously with his pads and his combinations, and I just thought Daniel Dubois' work ethic, his engine, his conditioning was fantastic on the night. Obviously he walked into Hrgovic's right hands a few times, but that was like Hagler what he did to Hearns. His mindset was he wasn't going to get beat. Now there's talk of him and Joshua. That's got to be a great fight, and Joshua's on a great run of form, so was Daniel. So it's great to get the two fighters when they're both hot at the moment, so that'll be a great fight. And you've got to think Daniel's still only 26, he's still a baby. If he loses, not the end of him. He'll come back like he has done already, and it's a great fight. Anthony Joshua, like I say, he's on a good run of form as well. He's got the big right hand. Could Daniel take that, and can Anthony Joshua box at Daniel's tempo? So it's a fascinating fight, and hopefully it gets made. It's one that I'd definitely like to watch.
And if you were to pick a winner between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois, who would you side with and why?
I don't know, I'd have to make my mind up close to the time there, but I do like Daniel the team, and I like Anthony Joshua as well, so it's just a good fight. It's one of them that you can just sit there and enjoy and just watch the two of them go at it.
And then we also had Deontay Wilder versus Zhilei Zhang that night. Just what did you see in the ring that night from both men? and why did it lead to that type of result?
I just think you're dealing there with what a heavyweight in this era is, which is a huge man, 18, 19 stone, with like 4 or 5 stone in Deontay. And Deontay weighed 15.4, 15.5, when you think about it, Okolie weighed 16 stone for the bridgerweight. It's just a shame Deontay couldn't make cruiserweight. I think he's been a fabulous heavyweight, a big punching heavyweight, but he's just involved there with a bigger man, a huge bigger man that can punch, who was an Olympian. And as we've seen up to now, he's already caused some upsets. And Joe Pack had a great game plan with him. He knew early on for the first 6-7 rounds Shang was very dangerous, and managed to get him down the straight when he tied. But Shang looked like he'd been in shape, lost a little bit of weight and was conditioned. But I just think Deontay has done for a long time. He's been swimming in a heavyweight division where he's always conceded 2 or 3 stone in weight. And I think that trilogy with him and Tyson Fury was when both fighters were at the peak, and it'll one that'll stand the test of time. And I think there's a lot of damage. There's a lot of wear and tear come out of them fights for both fighters.
I spoke to Lawrence on Sunday over Zoom, and he said he'd welcome a fight with Deontay Wilder at bridgerweight. As his coach, what do you make of that?
Listen, Deontay Wilder's done now. In my opinion, he's finished, so it's not worth conversation.
And just looking at the 5v5 concept as a whole, as a fan, what do you make of that concept?
No, it was very good. It was very good. It was interesting. Some fights, some people thought they'd win, and they didn't win. And yeah, no, it was good. It's interesting to see now that there's talk of a Mexico versus USA, a USA v England. There's also talks about Boxer doing a 5v5 with either Eddie or Frank. And yeah, no, it's good. It's good. And like I say, especially when you're getting the big fighters fighting the big fighters, it's very good. It's a different twist on it. And boxing's boom again. It did need to pull its socks up. We all said that at the beginning of 2023. And it has done now. And here we are in the middle of 2024, and boxing's flying.
Do you feel, obviously you say boxing's flying, do you feel we're almost entering a new golden era for the sport?
A new golden era? I think there's a golden era. I think in the way, in the production wise, in the way that boxing's presenting itself, in the formats, like you say, the 5v5, the best are now fighting the best. We've just had Fury Usyk, we've got Spence and Crawford, and there's talks of Canelo Benavidez now, and Inui's fighting whoever he needs to fight, and it's great to see them. Not only that, they're fighting regular and often. And years ago, this golden era where we had Hagler, Leonard, Jones, Hearns and all that type of stuff, they were fighting regular and often. There weren't one fight a year. And it's great that His Excellency in Riyadh, Saudi, and the Riyadh season and all the team at G and Salah are getting behind and getting the fighters out and getting them fighting regular and often. And it's no magic potion. All of a sudden, Joshua's performing well, Daniel Dubois is performing well. Do you know what I mean? It's because they're fighting regular and often, and that's what all fighters need to do, whether you're a prospect or you're a world champion. And fighting once a year was no good for them type of fighters.
And we've seen this morning some rumours that Turki Alalshikh, His Excellency, is looking at investing even more, and he wants to make a boxing type of league that's similar to the UFC. What do you make of that?
Brilliant. I just think it's brilliant. Yeah, no, I think it's brilliant. I think it's great. I think what he's doing for the sport now and how we're getting the fights going, I think it's brilliant. And to bring in something like that would be very fascinating, how they set up the format of it and everything else. But I think it'd be very good.
Do you feel, obviously, while we're starting to see a lot more promoters work together, do you feel this will bring almost the whole boxing world, people working in it, it'll bring everyone together, and we'll really start seeing even more of the best fighting the best and fights that need to happen at that time?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone will want to be part of it, and if you don't want to be part of it, then you'll be out of it, because everyone can see that's where it is, that's where it's happening. And when you're getting the big stars and the big names in world boxing going fighting in Saudi now is the new Las Vegas.
Joe, thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure, and best of luck this weekend with both fights.
Thank you.
Cheers, Joe. Thank you very much.